Okay, I'm going to give you tips on how to find out what large language models are saying about your brand. We call this a brand sesh, and this is where you actually create specific prompts to go into large language models. And these prompts actually pull out information from different ones so you can find out sentiment and you can find out how visible you are and how much they actually know about the product or the service that you're offering. So, for example, today we're going to pick just a random cybersecurity company, but we'll pick, a big one out there. So, we're going to go with Palo Alto Networks. And we ran this through our own Seshes AI to get results. But let's just say that this was your company or this was your client and you want to see how they're doing in large language models. You would put together 5 different prompts to start out with and then build off those prompts down the road. But you might want to ask, like, how is Palo Alto Networks perceived in the cybersecurity industry? What are the top 5 things that make Palo Alto Networks different than other cybersecurity companies? What type of organizations trust Palo Alto Networks for cybersecurity infrastructure? Is Palo Alto Networks seen as an innovator or a legacy service provider? What values and capabilities define the Palo Alto Networks brand? Prompts like these help uncover brand tone, if they're trusted, enterprise grade, cutting edge, their perceived audience, and a narrative control over AI models. And once you run these prompts in Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, ChatGPT, Llama, or whoever ones you want to track your brands in. And I recommend trying to track them in all because each one has its own type of audience and they're all getting more use day by day, month by month, you name it. So if let's say you put together prompts like that, you can start going in daily and pulling out information. And with that information, I recommend copying the results from each large language model, putting it into a spreadsheet to where you can start pulling out information to really see how your brand is being discussed, what keywords are being used. This will give you some context and information on what type of articles you should write in the future, what type of PR you should look at trying to get released around your brand, and making sure that it at least is lining up to the message and the voice that you want this brand to have. Again, these are called brand sessions, and this is when you go into large language models and search out information about a brand. Another type of sesh, which I think is even as valuable or more valuable, is a comp sesh. In a comp sesh, I'll talk about in another video, but basically that's where you find out where your brand lines up in the whole scheme of things up against competition. And it's a whole different game sometimes when you find out who these large language models are actually ranking when it comes to competition.